So, welcome back to Uncle, the underground network for creative learning and entertainment. Still trying to figure out that entertainment piece. Anyway, in this session, we'll be talking about creating a paper requisition slash service contract. So, let's get to it. All right, so at the home screen, you want to be in the correct buying organization. So you're going to change the buying organization that's here to the appropriate buying organization that's either paper requisition or service contract. All right. Both processes have the same function in terms of how you process them in Procurement Suite. All right. So just choose the appropriate function that's available to you under your drop-down menus. All right. So after you select the appropriate buying organization, we're going to create new general requisition, and then we're going to special request. All right. Under special request, again, we're going to utilize only the 6 red critical fields. The critical fields are all identified by a red asterisk. Item description, unit of measure, supplier, quantity, estimated unit price, and the supplier part number. All right. So basically, we're here doing the example I'm using for this paper requisition process or service contract process is some sort of consulting services. All right. So the organization needs to hire a consultant or a consulting company to do some work for us. So basically, it's intangible. It's not like a product where you want 5 of these things and then they're delivered to you. This is a service, and we're setting up a purchase order requisition for that service to anticipate the bills and invoices after the contract has been signed. All right. So in our item description, I'll just use an example of consulting services. All right, so for the period 2021, all right. Okay, so let's say it's January to December 2021. All right, so that's the period I'm covering. The unit of measure, I'll keep it at eaches. All right, and then the supplier. The supplier will look up the supplier in our database. Let's say the supplier is Cardiac Science Corp. All right. Highlight and bring it in. Then the quantity here for the consulting services. So whatever's in the contract, this line item for the contract. Let's say the consulting services piece is going to be $250,000. So that's what we're going to put in this requisition, $250,000 in the quantity field. All right, 2, 3, no decimal, no comma, no dollar sign. In the quantity field, it has to be a whole number. All right, so 250,000 is our quantity, and then we're setting in the field estimated unit price at $1. All right. Then the supplier part number, again, this needs to be a unique field from other supplier part numbers when we have multiple line items in our requisition. So here, since it may or may not be in the contract that some sort of identifying job number is associated with it, but let's assume there's not, so I will call this part the consulting part. Alright, and then I'm going to click add to bring it into my shopping cart. So now my shopping cart has 1 item in there, and my total spend is $250,000. Alright, so this is a multi-line requisition. So let's say that the consulting services wants us to pay for their travel expense while they're working for us. So we'll just call it travel expenses. Alright. Alright, unit of measure is stale at each's. The supplier is the same supplier. The quantity, so what's the budgeted price or contracted price for the travel expenses for the period covered? Let's say it's $15,000. The estimated unit price is $1, and the supplier part number, we'll just call it travel, and we're going to add this into our requisition. One last expense, they want us to pay for their telecom expense, their cell phones, right? January to December, and for a period 2021. Alright, the quantity, the estimated quantity here is 5,000. Estimated unit price is $1. And then the supplier part number, we will say telecom. And add that into our requisition. Alright. I have nothing else to add, so my shopping cart has 3 items and my total spend is $270,000. Right. So now I have to go to checkout. And at checkout, just make sure your supplier part number are unique from each other. Travel, consulting, telecom. So the supplier part number is unique. Next thing I have to do is click on attachment. So I'm going to click on attachment, create a new attachment, and I'm going to browse for my signed paper requisition document. Alright, so let's go into documents, and let's look for that signed paper requisition document. I found it on my computer. Highlight, click open to bring it in, and now I have to type in a purpose in this purpose box, otherwise I can't go anywhere. So the purpose is consulting services, January to December 2021, and then I click on save. Alright. Then I get a nice acknowledgement of the attachment was successfully uploaded. I hit OK. I click on close. Alright, so then at this point I can finalize my cost centers and my GLs, update the line item when I select the cost center, and update the line item when I select the GL. Alright. If there's nothing else to do on this requisition is good to go, then I can click on the big green submit button. Just want to show you the document. An example of the document that was attached is this paper rec document. Alright, so this is an example of the pro forma of the document. This is not an example of what I wrote down in my lesson today. So in this example of the pro forma, it has 2 line items, but when you pull up this document that you've attached, you should match up the exact amount of line items from this paper rec document to your P-Suite requisition. So if your paper rec document has 2 lines, your P-Suite should have 2 lines, and they should match in terms of the total dollar amount should match from your paper rec document to your P-Suite document. What's also important about this document reflects the signatures that are required for the spend that's being requisitioned for. All right, so that's the key thing for this document. Right. So again, if there's nothing else to add into this requisition, then I can just click on the big green submit button. All right, thank you, and I look forward to helping you in the next episode.